Good morning, dear students. I hope you all are doing great. Students, today we are going to start with our chapter number 5, that is In Search of Peace, Buddha and Mahavir. So, let's get started.
In the 6th century BC, important reforms were done in social and religious sectors in India. Reforms means changes. Now in 6th century BC, important reforms, that means important changes, were done. In which sectors? In social and religious. That means in social and religious sectors in India, some changes were being made. In 6th century, some of the reforms worked against social evils that had entered social and religious areas. That means that some of the social rituals, that are not good, say for example, child marriage, it is a social evil. Now, such kind of social evils were being removed to make a good change in society. Along with it, they also worked for removal of social inequality and immoralities. That means changes were made to remove social inequality and immoralities. Now, do you know what kind of social inequalities were prevailing? People were being treated and considered of high status and low status on the basis of the caste that they belong to. If you are Brahmin, you are considered as a person with high status. And if you are Shudra, then you are being considered as lower in status to Brahmin. So, such kind of inequalities were being removed, or at least they tried to remove it. Gautam Buddha and Mahavir Swami are the main ones. Now, who were responsible for the try to remove such kind of social inequalities? They were Gautam Buddha and Mahavir Swami. We will try to understand the life of Gautam Buddha and Mahavir Swami, their pursuit and humanity established by them. Here, pursuit means activities done by Gautam Buddha and Mahavir Swami for the betterment of society. They tried to establish humanity by removing some of the social evils. Let's understand more about Gautam Buddha and Mahavir Swami. Let's start with Gautam Buddha. We obtain a lot of information about Gautam Buddha and Buddhism from Jatak Katha and Buddhist texts Tripitaka. Jatak Katha means Jatak tales, a body of literature comprising accounts of previous lives of the Buddha. And Tripitaka means the three collection of books making up the Buddhist canon of scriptures. First one, Sukta Pitak. Second one, Vinay Pitak. And third one, Abhidharma Pitak. About 550 Jataka stories are associated with pre-birth of Buddha. The word Jatak is a Sanskrit word. Jatak is from the root word Jata, meaning born. As it is based on birth stories of Gautam Buddha, and which is why it is named as Jataka. These stories were used for a variety of purposes. In Sanskrit, the Panchtantra used them to teach law and economics. In the past, people have been satisfied and fulfilled in many ways by hearing them in forms ranging from lessons to fairy tales. Even today, by reading these stories, children and adults can develop their knowledge and learn how to face the difficult experience of modern life. They can easily develop human values and good qualities. There was a kingdom called Kapilavastu in the foothills of the Himalayas while going towards Nepal. The Kshatriyas of Kapilavastu were called Shakyas. It was a republic. Students, we have discussed the meaning of republic, and we also discussed the difference between republic and monarchy in our last chapter, that is chapter number 4. Do you remember? Very good. A republic has an elected head of state called a president. Shuddhodhan was the head of this republic. Maya Devi was wife of Shuddhodhan. In Kapilavastu, name of the king was Shuddhodhan and name of the queen was Maya Devi. Gautam Buddha was born in house of Shuddhodhan and Maya Devi in 566 BC. His childhood name was Siddharth. After a few days of his birth, his mother Maya Devi died. Therefore, he was nurtured by Gautami Mahaprajapati, who was his foster mother. Foster mother means a mother who cares for a child who is not her biological child. Before home sacrifice of Gautam Buddha, his name was Siddharth. From young age, Siddharth was associated with education and knowledge. Next to Kapilavastu, there was a monastery of a saint named Alara Kalam. Monastery means a place where a monk lived. Alara Kalam was his guru. Siddharth went to his ashram. Here he did meditation. So basically, Siddharth was interested in gaining education and knowledge since he was young. Next to Kapilavastu kingdom, There was one monk who used to live in a monastery. Name of the monk was Alara Kalam. And Siddharth used to consider Alara Kalam his guru. Siddharth used to go to his ashram every day and he used to meditate there. Siddharth's father was worried as he continued to discuss knowledge and samadhi. He was worried if Siddharth would become a monk. So, Sudodhan found a way out of it. Siddharth was married at a young age. His wife's name was Yashodhara. He also had a son named Rahul. At the age of 30, he decided to renounce his royal family and state and become a hermit, means saint, in search of truth. One night he took his charioteer Chana and horse Kanthak and went to the river bank outside his state. Charioteer is a person who is a driver of a chariot. Leaving his royal attire, he gave all his jewelry to Chana and ordered him to take Kanthak along with him and return to the palace. He himself wore the ascetic clothes of the hermit, that means a saint, and walked towards the jungle. Ascetic clothes means religious clothes. Ascetic means avoiding physical pleasures and living a simple life, often for religious reasons. After leaving his home, he went to Rajgriha and then to Puruvela. Here he started penance with 5 Brahmins. He felt that giving up food and water and dominating the body would not yield knowledge. Penance means an act that shows that you feel sorry about something that you have done. Torment means to cause a person or animal to suffer or worry. Gautam Buddha realized that not eating food or not taking water will not help him to gain more knowledge. Leaving 5 Brahmins, he decided to do penance alone. Sitting under the peepal tree at Bodhigaya, he started sadhana for truth and enlightenment. After many days of sadhana, he got knowledge on the day of Vaishakh Purnima. On acquiring knowledge, he became Buddha from Siddharth. Buddha means conscious or wise. Later on, he was called Gautam Buddha. Enlightenment means the state of understanding something. I'll give you one very easy example to better understand this word enlightenment. Okay. So see, before your exam is, going to come, your parents or your teachers keep on forcing you to study. But you do not realize the importance of it. And what happens is that finally when your exam is done, you get less marks in it. And that's the point where you realize that this was the reason why my parents or my teachers were telling me to study. and for the next exam, without any instructions from your teacher or your parents, you yourself decide to study for 2 hours in a day. That is where you got enlightened. You understood the importance of studying. Same way, in any of the ways, when you understand the importance of something, it is called enlightenment. But students, in Hinduism and Buddhism, enlightenment is having a little different meaning. It means the highest spiritual state that can be achieved. After attaining enlightenment, Buddha went to Sarnath, where he met his old Brahmin friends. For the first time, he preached to those 5 Brahmins at Sarnath. Preach means to give a religious speech. Buddha's these first preachings are called Dharma Chakra Pravartan. Buddha gave a very simple sermon to get rid of the miseries of the world. Sermon means a religious or moral talk or a speech. Misery means great unhappiness. According to him, there are 4 noble truths. First one is, the world is full of miseries. That means the world is full of unhappiness. The cause of suffering is greed or strong desire. Greed means a very strong wish to continuously get more of something. And desire means to want something. So, according to Buddha, people suffer a lot because they are either greedy or they have strong desires in their life. Third one is, destruction of suffering is renunciation of desire. That means if you don't want to suffer in your life, you will have to get rid of all your desires. Renunciation means the formal announcement that someone no longer owns, supports, believes in, or has a connection with something. Fourth one is adoption of octagonal path. That means Astang marg eliminates desire. Now, how can you get rid of your desires? There is 8-fold path called Astang marg given by GAUTAM Buddha can help you to get rid of your desires. These 4 truths explained by Buddha are known as Buddhist principles, also known as Samyak Darshan. Eightfold path given by Gautam Buddha includes right view, right intentions, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right concentration, and right mindfulness. Let's quickly go through the summary of today's session. We obtained a lot of information about Gautam Buddha and Buddhism from Jatak Katha and Buddhist texts Tripitaka, Sukta Pitak, Vinay Pitak, and Abhidharma Pitak. About 550 Jatak stories are associated with pre-birth of Buddha. There was a kingdom called Kapilavastu in the foothills of the Himalayas. while going towards Nepal. The Kshatriya of Kapilavastu were called Shakyas. It was a republic. Shuddhodhan was the head of this republic. Maya Devi was wife of Shuddhodhan. Gautam Buddha was born in house of Shuddhodhan and Maya Devi in 566 BC. His childhood name was Siddharth. After few days of his birth, his mother Maya Devi died. Therefore, he was nurtured by Gautami Mahaprajapati, who was his foster mother. From young age, Siddharth was associated with education and knowledge. Next to Kapilavastu, there was a monastery of a saint named Alara Kalam. Alara Kalam was his guru. Siddharth went to his ashram. Here he did meditation. Siddharth's father was worried as he continued to discuss knowledge and samadhi. He was worried if Siddharth would become a monk. Siddharth was married at a young age. His wife's name was Yashodhara. He also had a son named Rahul. At the age of 30, he decided to renounce his royal family and estate and become a saint, that means hermit, in search of truth. One night he took his charioteer Chana and horse Kanthak and went to the river bank outside his state. Leaving his royal attire, he gave all his jewelry to Chana and ordered him to take Kanthak along with him and return to the palace. He himself wore the ascetic clothes of the hermit and walked towards the jungle. After leaving his home, he went to Rajgriha and then to Puruvela. Here, he started penance with 5 Brahmins. He felt that giving up food and water and tormenting the body would not yield knowledge. Leaving 5 Brahmins, he decided to do penance alone. Sitting under the peepal tree at Bodhigaya, he started sadhana for truth and enlightenment. After many days of sadhana, he got knowledge on the day of Vaishakh Purnima. On acquiring knowledge, he became Buddha from Siddharth. Buddha means conscious or wise. Later on, he was called Gautam Buddha. After attaining enlightenment, Buddha went to Sarnath, where he met his old Brahmin friends. For the first time, he preached to those 5 Brahmins or monks at Sarnath. Buddha's these first preachings are called Dharmachakra Pravartan. Buddha gave very simple sermon to get rid of the miseries of the world. According to him, there are 4 noble truths. The world is full of miseries. The cause of suffering is greed or strong desire. Destruction of suffering is renunciation of desire. Adoption of octagonal path, that is Astang Marg, eliminates desire. These 4 truths explained by Buddha are known as Buddhist principles, also known as Samyak Darshan. So students, I expect you all to revise the part that we have discussed today. In next session, we will discuss about Buddha as a great reformer. We will also discuss about the principles given by Gautam Buddha, and we will also discuss about Mahavir Swami. Thank you. Have a nice day.